Okay, so I have decided to build a robot, and I just wanted to kind of go over some of the steps to do this. This is Ian McTavish with Team 4152. This is the robot that I'm looking at building. There's a couple reasons I want to build it. Number one, I want to expand our 3D printing capabilities. I want to try making these mecanum wheels that are on this robot. Number two, the Ontario Skills Challenge this year. This seems to be a very good kind of robot base to consider. So I want to try testing it and seeing how it drives on the playing field. Number three, we want a small demo robot that we can take when we do events and things. So this fits the package. It's nice and tiny. It's very cool because it's got the rollers, and then later on we can add an arm or something like that to make it even funkier. So the biggest challenge is what to power it with. My starting point is this. I have these motors, and every year we get a bunch of them in the kit. So I'm going to start with that. They're Denso motors, and I know we got them in the 2016 kit. We got a bag of them. So I pulled up the information from First Robotics, and here I've got all my power, my stall torque, my free speed, and all that information. So that information I was then able to share in the JVN design calculator. So this is a spreadsheet that you can download, and I've set up a custom one-speed drive. I took the data from that site and added it in to the data page for that. And this way I can play around and see what types of gearing I need and what type of speeds that I'll be able to achieve, and then how much current that's going to draw, because I can see on the chart 7 amps, this motor is going to stall out, so I need to make sure that everything fits within there. Now the other thing is that you'll see this takes the weight of the drivetrain, and I'm just trying to find that. Yeah, so I've set it to 5 pounds. I don't know how much it's going to weigh. I can tell in the chart that the motors themselves are going to be 2 pounds. So what I've done is I've just downloaded the mecanum. They have their own version, which is great. So I downloaded the step file and imported it into Onshape. I'm creating my own version, slightly different dimensions, and right now, as I'm generating parts, I got to go through and rename them, but I also need to set the material. And I happen to have a whole bunch of acrylic that I don't have much use for. So that's where I'm thinking the acrylic. I'm also using variables, and this allows me, if I decide to use MDF board instead of the acrylic, I can type in the dimension, and if you look at how I'm sketching things, so there's the 12-inch or the 0.25 inches. I'm actually using the variable to get that instead. So I should be able to automatically adjust the dimensions based on that. But once I've assigned a material, I can now go in and I can get my weights. So that bottom plate is 0.7 pounds. So the top plate will be 0.75 pounds. And I can go in with his model that he created and take all the different parts. So there's the roller, and again, I can set the material. So the rollers on this would be 3D printed with ABS, and based on that, I can start getting my different weights, and I should be able to calculate and see if my motor is going to stall out. And that's the thing, is that if it's going to be too heavy, then I need to either find a way to lighten it or find a way to switch out the motors and get a more powerful motor. Ideally, I'll use these motors because they're free to me. I don't need to buy anything extra, but I will need to design a gearbox, which is another skill I want to teach with this. So that's kind of where it's at. Anyways, thanks for watching our introduction, and hope this is a useful starting point for how to kind of design a robot from scratch.